Hello and welcome back to another episode of Welcome Christ Podcast, the show where we encourage people to find spiritual and financial balance in their life through the abundance grace of God. On our podcast today, we have Mr. Austin, who is the owner of H&H Credit Solution, where they provide service as credit repair. In addition, Mr. Austin also has an ebook which allows people to do their own credit, fix their own credit at their own will. And today we're going to discuss the importance of credit and how important is business credit. So thank you for being here, Mr. Austin Hill. It's a pleasure to have
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you for having me, man.
That's good. That's good. So when did you started this journey of helping people with their credit scores and building their credit scores?
Well, really, I guess I kind of started with like why I'm kind of doing it. I mean, I've had parents, and mentors that have been able to teach me about credit. And I understand that that's not everyone's story. Not everyone has a mother, father, mentor, or anything like that to teach them about credit. And I'm pretty young, and I went to a DPS school, and I'm not gonna say this, like out of just ignorance, but pretty sure I was one of the smartest kids in the school. And people often, told me that, but I've just always been the type to share information. Eric Thomas says if you got some information that could change somebody's life, you don't share, you're selfish. So anything that I learn about anything, I'm willing to share with anybody. It's just anybody that's just willing to learn. So when I understood about credit from a young age and all the stuff that it was doing with my family, being able to get my cousin approved for a house, my brother approved, fix all their credit and get these high limit credit cards at a bench that I'm, currently using to build assets and wealth for my family. I understood that type of information is not known and that people need to teach it. So about last year, I acquired a mentor that was teaching me how to fix credit and all stuff like that. And basically the process of how to get high limit credit cards and stuff like that. So I just, kind of became a student of the game, kept learning, and putting the skills to test. And, I just, ever since like last summer, like I said, when I fixed my brother's credit, I just continued on from there, just helping people fix their credit, whether it be for free, showing, whether the videos I post every Friday, showing people how to fix their credit or use their credit to obtain financial independence or whatever it is. I just try to help anybody that I can, and I've just been doing that since about last year. And we've been able to make some great results helping people get to where they want to be. So I just been blessed to be put in this position, and I'll continue to help anybody I can.
That's great. Well, what would you say is the biggest mistake that people make in concern to credit?
The biggest mistake, I feel like when people get into credit, they don't understand how to properly structure a credit report. So everybody, when they get into credit, they think, oh, I got a 740, they got a 760, I can get approved for anything. And that's not necessarily true, if not true at all. Your score is just one thing. Banks don't really care about the score. They care about the structure of your report. So your past history, the credit utilization, all those types of things are the banks that they look at. They don't just look at what your score is, because you can have a high score by having just one account. They want to see, that you have many types of accounts with many types of institutions and with different limits and, with different ages and things like that, just to understand your responsibility. You got to understand banks want to give money to people who don't need it. They don't want to give money to people who need it because you're high liability. So you got to make sure you look like you're a responsible lender by having these different types of accounts and having your credit report just overall structured a certain way, and that's how you get approved for anything. People just come in thinking because I got a 740, I said 750, I can go get a Mercedes, I can go get a thing. Some of the cases that can be true, but most of the cases it's the structure of your report. Your credit has nothing to do with it. I've had clients with a 700 get approved for stuff that clients with a 760 couldn't get approved for, because the structure of their report was better than the clients who had a 740 who might have just had one or two accounts in your credit report. So I think overall the misconception of people relying on your credit score to get approved for things and just get approved for products in general is something that we need to kind of get rid of, because you can have a high score and still get denied and not get the rates and things that you wish for when you're going into these dealerships and mortgage companies and things like that. So just making sure you have a good report. I feel like that's what people make a mistake of, is relying on their score too much.
That's quite interesting. So how would you say one should structure to have a great credit report card? That makes sense.
So I would say you need at least 5 years of history. You don't want any derogatory remarks on your credit report. You want anything bad. You want low utilization, so that's anything below like 10%. And those are pretty much the things that you want to make sure. And your payment history has to be really good, if not 100%, very close to that. But those are the things that banks look at. They don't look at your score. They look at, okay, how long have you been paying these accounts consistently? How long has this account been open? How much, what's the credit limit on this account? Those are the things that banks look at. They don't look at, oh, he has a 740. Let's give him $10,000. Those are not the things you look at. So making sure you got good history, like I said, at least 6 years, low utilization, nothing bad, no derogatory remarks, no bankruptcies, no derogatory remarks or accounts. What else did I say? Payment history, and just make sure everything is pretty much low or in good standing. It's pretty much what you want to be.
That's good. That's good. So how do you go about educating people about credit, so they can understand the most basic ways?
So mainly, you understand. I'm pretty young. I'm only 21. So I understand people use social media a lot, and that's the biggest thing that businesses can use to get reach a lot of people. No one's reading the newspaper anymore. Everyone's on their phone, iPad, a computer. So mainly on my TikTok and my Instagram, I post videos, like I said, every Friday. I call it Financial Freedom Fridays because I'm showing people how to achieve financial freedom through your credit. So every video, I go through a topic. It could be about not to rely on your credit score. It might be something about how to start building business credit. Any just free information I can give to people that like I said, I knew and I had people to teach me, but I understand it's not common information. So those are the main ways. And then, like I said, like you mentioned earlier, I do have a DIY ebook, link in my bio. It's $97, basically showing people how to fix their credit. And then on top of that, I have a inquiry removal product, basically showing you how to remove your inquiries in 24 to 72 hours. And then also I have a sequence showing people how you get 15 credit cards and 5 inquiries and basically guarantee yourself $60,000 in funding and things like that. But mainly I just go about social media. I've been working with some of my educators to start speaking at some of these schools, high schools, seniors, showing people how to fix their credit when they turn 18, or not really fix it, but start building credit when they turn 18. So when they go into college, or even when they come out of college, they're setting themselves up for financial success. So mainly just TikTok and social media, but I will be doing some more community work when I'm actually in person, or even via Zoom, whatever's most appropriate at the time, showing people how to fix their credit that way.
That's good. So how important is it for someone to understand how to leverage their credit to get into different things like real estate, or even get a loan for business?
I mean, it's the most important thing. I feel like, in this, everybody knows in this life, the only money you're going to spend is either yours or someone else's. And the way you buy things is with credit or debit. And a lot of us Black people, or even just people in general, we don't come from, or we just didn't have parents or people in our life that set aside anything for us to kind of build upon. So we're starting from ground zero. And so we don't have anyone else's money to kind of get us to where we need to be. So we have to use someone else's money. And the way you use somebody else's money is just by having good credit. So understanding that when you have good credit, you can leverage someone else's money to obtain cash flowing assets like homes, real estate, rental cars. So I'll give you a great example, right? So let's say you got a business credit card, right? You got 12 months, no interest, right? It's $10,000, right? Let's say you turn credit to cash. You took the credit, or you liquidated the credit card. You took the cash off the credit card, and you went and go purchase 3 rental car vehicles. Let's say these rental car vehicles, the down payment was like $8,000, and these vehicles cash flow you like $3,000 a month. So then you use that cash flow to then pay back the credit cards that you have 0 interest on for 12 months. And you pay the minimum monthly balance until the 12 months is up, and then you pay it in full. And that's like one of the ways that you can basically start acquiring cash flowing assets using the bank's money, by simply taking the money off, go invest it in real estate. You go, like, let's say you got another $20,000. You get a $20,000 Chase business credit card. They give you $20,000, and you go invest it in a Subway franchise. I think it's like $12,000, $15,000 to start. You go invest it there. Let's say that cash flow you like $10,000, $15,000 a month. You use the first month, you go pay back the credit card, and now you got a cash flowing asset for as long as you keep the business open that you can pass down to your kids. Or even if you want to teach your kids about business, you can put them in the Subway, teach them, how to manage cash, how to manage a family business. And then from there, they can, create their own. I think Black, people in general, we just got to understand to leverage the money. Everyone, when they first get credit, they want to go buy a nice, shoes, clothes, and things like that, which is fine. But, I think first we need to understand to leverage our assets to pay for the liabilities that we want, the cars, the houses, and things like that. And we can do that by using someone else's money, which is just essentially credit. So it's very vital, and it's free information, and it's something everybody should definitely do, leveraging the bank's money to make you money. Instead of making them money by buying stuff, which they want you to do, and carry the monthly balance, acquire interest. Nah, just go make some money with their money, and then use that money to go have fun with,
That's good. That's good. So what are some good practice for those who have credit cards to do?
I would say, I think for me, one of the main things that kept me, I've had, credit cards, a lot of credit cards, and I've never missed a payment in the 4 or 5 years, 3 or 4 years that I've had one, is just keep up when there's due. It sounds simple, but, if you got like me, if someone like me, I have a lot of credit cards. So sometimes it can be quite cumbersome remembering when to, keep up with your dates. But really, even if that's something difficult, you can go to your financial institutions and just ask them to change your billing date to the same date, so that all you gotta do is remember one date, and then you pretty much just pay it on the same month. And then 2, I feel like we leverage our credit cards as extra income that we have, when in reality, we don't have. So like, I'm gonna give you an example. Like, a lot of people, they have a job or whatever, and they'll get a credit card that sometimes will be higher than what they actually make. And so they'll spend more money than what they actually make. And so when you do that, you're basically just setting yourself up for debt and an opportunity for the banks to make money on you, because you're acquiring interest that's gonna, that you can't pay back. So if you only make $2,000 a month, don't spend what you don't have. Only, if you only got $2,000 a month, don't spend more than $2,000 a month. Just understand where you're spending money, how you're spending money, keeping track of those things, and I guarantee you won't miss a payment, and you won't have any derogatory remarks. And then, just keeping track of all your accounts and when they're due. I feel like it's pretty, something that people kind of miss out on. But yeah, those 2 main things.
What should be someone's first credit card? I know there's different types. So what should someone's first credit card be if they don't have a credit card now?
I always recommend, if you're getting a credit card, if it's a secured card, usually if it's your first credit card, it has to be a secured card, because a secured card basically is just guaranteeing the bank won't lose money, because you're a new lender. They don't know who you are, so they're going to ask for a security deposit when you first try to get your first credit card. So the first credit card that I recommend is any credit card that you can get that has a guaranteed deposit back. So they'll give you the money back after a couple of months, and they'll actually turn the card into an unsecured card. So it'll go from secured to unsecured, and they'll give you the money back. So like Bank of America, the white card, I can't remember the name of it. It's like a good one. That's like my first one. But I really recommend Self-Lender. Is basically a secured loan. I would say I wouldn't say you should get a credit card. I would say it'll probably be better if you go get a secured loan. So, like I said, Self is actually a secured loan. You can go download the app on your phone. It's on the App Store. It's just SALF, Self, with a period. It's blue. It starts off as a secured loan, and after 3 months, they'll actually send you a credit card. And then with this credit card, you can spend on it. You can change your monthly limit. You can pay it back just like a normal credit card, but you're also saving money. And then, like I said, with the secured loans, what I recommend all my clients do is go to your financial institution, use it like a credit union is usually what I recommend, because credit unions are in competition with bigger banks like your Bank of America, like your Key Bank. So they're going to give you better interest and things of that nature, better products. So go to like a credit union, go open up. I recommend you open up 3 at a time so that they're all aging at the same time. You go open up a secured credit card, and what will happen, or a secured loan, and what will happen is they'll ask for the money up front. They'll put it into a savings account, and they'll automatically withdraw that money every month so that you never miss an on-time payment. So I actually just recommend that if you're starting out, sometimes it can be hard to get a credit card because you have no history. Just start off with some secured loans, or even there even are like plenty of no credit check business credit card or credit cards that I talk about on my channel. If you go check it out on credit cards that you can get with no increase. So like those are the types of cards that I usually recommend, cards that are based off how much money you make, or even like a Bank of America secured card, or make sure if it's a secured card, like I said, that they give you the money back, and it's secured loans. Secured loans are guaranteed a bank will give you, and then, like I said, they'll make sure you won't miss a payment by taking the money up front that you want, put it in the savings account, and then they'll withdraw the money every month, and then you can cancel it, or at the end of the 12 months, however the term of the loan or account that you agree on, they'll refund you the money. And that's how you basically start building credit. Then from there, when you have all those accounts, then it'll be easy to start getting other secure cards, or other credit cards in your name.
That's great. That is definitely great. So being that you're a new business owner, a new entrepreneur, how I guess did faith in God help you continue to stay consistent and not give up? A lot of times people definitely give up, starting new. So how has you continue to
Yeah,
do that?
yeah. So my mom is actually a pastor, Church of God in Christ, Faith of Church of God in Christ, Pentecostal Way of Faith, Church of God in Christ. And so I've always been a man of a strong faith. I always tell people, if you have faith in yourself, you're dangerous. But if you got faith in yourself and in God, then you're well, if you have faith in yourself, you're dangerous. But if you have faith in yourself and in God, then you're powerful. So I always said, my faith in God has always been strong, because that's the only person that I can rely on besides myself. So, growing up, I've had a great life, and I've been raised to have, a faith in God, and that's just kind of what carried me, because He's never abandoned me. All the good and the bad that's happened in my life has led me until where I am now. If God didn't, for example, in 2008, my dad lost his job, right? That was a tough time for the country, right? Dad lost his job, forced me to be an entrepreneur, help provide for my family. It wasn't like we lived a terrible life or anything like that, but it was just a little tough time. And if I didn't go through any of that stuff that I went through, then I would have never wanted to be, I would have never needed to be and discover the love for being an entrepreneur. Because if my dad kept his job, I would have still been the same spoiled kid that was, getting Xbox games every month. So if my dad didn't lose his job and force me to start cutting grass, be an entrepreneur, bring my brothers in and things like that, then I wouldn't even be sitting upon here in front of you today. So I feel like your faith in God has to be strong, because like I said, if you don't have faith in God, it's like you're lifeless. You don't have anything. You know what I'm saying? He said you got a faith of a mustard seed. You take it where you need to go. So I always say, like I said, if you got faith in yourself, you're powerful. But if you got faith in yourself and in God, you're dangerous. So always keep the faith in God. Everything he does for a reason. Don't ever question him, because he knows your beginning. He knows your end. He knows where you're gonna be. He knows if you're, what I'm saying, if you're instructed to be a general, what I'm saying, versus a soldier. A general has to go through more things than a soldier has to go through. So just because someone else might have not had to have gone without lights and gas and things like that, you don't know what God has in store for you. Like I said, if you're a general, you're leading an army. You gotta make sure what I'm saying, what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it. So your story might be different from someone who's a soldier that God has a different, what I'm saying, vision for. So like I said, God has a vision for everybody. So don't question it. Just stay with it. Just keep the faith that he's going to bring you out of it, and he's going to bring you through it, and everything he's doing for a reason. So I've always had a strong faith in God. Like I said, it's brought me to who I am today, where I am, all the endeavors I've encountered, all the accomplishments, all the knowledge I know. So I say it's very important, and he's brought me a long way to have a faith in God, and it's played, like I said, a major role in my life.
That's good. That's good. Thank God. Thank God about that. So I guess we want to talk a little bit about business credit. 'Cause a lot of people, some of my audience do have business. So what's the point of business credit? Because like you say on social media, you see different things. Go and get a car, and so how important is business credit?
Business credit is just as important as it is personal credit because, back in what was it when the state of when the state of representative required that each business have a EIN or state, I can't remember the case, but they require that for a reason because businesses are their own entities and they're just like a person. So you have to set your business. Just like how you have personal credit, your business needs credit because businesses spend more money and they operate a different way than business. Business credit, you're basically just, giving yourself a 2-3 levels up on anybody else who just has personal credit or just in general because business credit is so lucrative because, like I said, businesses spend more money than people, so they're going to give you a $30,000 credit card for your business more likely than they would Austin Hill. So they'll give credit a business credit card for 30,000. But for Austin Hill, I might have to have 20, certain, my credit report has to be structured a certain way. I got to build a limit and things like that. So having business credit is a great tool to have, especially like I said, when you're trying to acquire cash flowing assets because they give you bigger limits, more opportunity to go invest elsewhere. So I definitely say if anybody out there everyone should have credit. So if you don't, like I said, in my DIY ebook, I give a free guide on how to basically start building your business credit, like all the accounts that I've used to get myself and my clients $250,000 in credit. But I give a lot of free game about how you can start like for free. Like you can use just signing up, making sure your business is set up as professionally as possible. So having a business address, having a bank account, listing yourself, having a phone number, professional email, a website, making sure you're not in a restricted industry, all those types of things. When you set your business up professionally, then you can start doing funding because you want to make sure your business is set up as professionally as possible. So because the banks don't know who you are, they just know what you submit in and all the stuff that you have. So you got to make sure your business looks as professional as possible to give you the best chance to get approved for credit cards and credit accounts in your business name. So everyone should have credit. It's very important. You do see a lot of people talking about it, but I don't think a lot of people say they don't give they give a lot of vague information, but it's something that, like I said, everyone should have. If you have a business, if you don't start one, if you have a shelf corp, if you got a business passed down and they don't have get all that stuff set up so you can get 20, 30,000. 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 in credit, and then you go invest in real estate and things like that.
That's great. So my next question will be, when should people get business credit? Because now, especially the PPP loan and everything, everybody's literally, people that don't even have business or have business need to get it, just get it loans and things of that sort. So when will be the right time to get, business credit, or because you're not committing no kind of crime or anything of that sort?
You need it as soon as possible. Banks don't see, so you can be a business that's been open 10, 15 years, and the banks consider you a new business. They consider you a new business if you've never had, the day that you open your business checking account is the day that businesses consider that that you're basically established. So make it as soon as possible so your business can age, because businesses give more money to businesses that are more aged. So the longer you wait to start building business credit, you're basically just prolonging the opportunity that you have in this market with like all these soft pull business credit cards that you can basically get with no ACRE on your personal credit report, like all these loans, all these car loans, all of these products that banks are coming out with to help businesses or just like start up. You're basically missing out on these hundreds of thousands of dollars that you can basically start getting. So I would just say you need to start. If you haven't started, get your DUNS number, get your business bank account, get all that stuff set up so that you can start building your, your business credit and like I said, and start participating in this opportunity.
That's good. Could you quickly explain what's a DUNS and BARS number for those who may not know?
Yeah, so a data universal number. So Dun & Bradstreet is basically just a private corporation that basically reports all your credit accounts that you might have on your credit report. So it's a 7-digit code. You can apply for free. You shouldn't have to pay for it. Don't ever pay for it. DUNS number is completely free. All you got to do is go on, I think, dnb.com/register. You should be able to find it if you just put in DUNS number. And when you put in DUNS number, make sure you put government contractor so that you get the code back quicker than if you put business owner or any other option that they have you could put, for the reason that you need your DUNS number. So when they say, why do you need your DUNS number? Put government contractor, they'll give you the number within the same day or the next day or so, rather than if you put I'm a US-based business, which would take longer for you to get your DUNS number. So you need your DUNS number when applying for credit. It's basically just your, it's not your social security number, your EIN number, TIN, that's kind of your social security number for your business, but it's, I guess it's your second social security number. A lot of businesses, when you're applying for credit, if not all, require that you have a DUNS number to track your, that's how you track your score and all your accounts and your credit report. So it's basically just your, like I said, secondary DUNS number. And you should have one. Everyone should have one as soon as possible.
That's good. That's good. So, so what are some 5 tips you can just give out? Just about credit for those, like, to sample everything we talked about, like 5 tips that people should take away from this
5 tips. So I would say one of the biggest things, like I've already mentioned, don't spend what you don't have when it comes to credit. Just don't, if you don't have it, just don't, try to leverage it on your credit card. Cause like I said, you're just setting yourself up for debt. Keeping track of your due dates. When is your due dates due? Making sure that you know those things will make sure that your credit is on time. I would say get started as soon as possible. It's not too late to fix your credit, and it's not too late to start building credit. So I would say start building credit as soon as you can. And if you're trying to fix your credit as soon as possible. Another tip that I would give when it comes to business credit, I would make sure, like I said, that your business is set up as professionally as possible. So making sure you got your website, your DUNS number, your bank account, all that information. Make sure you have all of that so that when you try to go get business credit, you have higher chances of approval. Another thing that I would recommend when it comes to credit, I would probably say when it comes to like these, when you want to do these credit cards, and when you're started, I would say make sure you get your money back when you're trying to get your first credit card. And then 2, when you're starting to get these credit cards, that you're reading the terms and conditions, if they have annual fees, or if they have, or what are the benefits of using all these cards. Because I feel like a lot of people, they start getting credit cards, they don't know the APR, they don't know the benefits of using them, and they don't, what I'm saying? Just make sure you understand the purpose of that card, what it's best used for, so you can basically exploit those opportunities that they have. So whether that's travel rewards and things like that, so you can do manufacturer spending to travel for free, live for free, and do all those sort of things.
That's great. That's great. So where can people find you? And if those who want to get their credit repair, how can they go about contacting you?
Yeah, so you can reach me on, so I have a TikTok, like I said, so it's just age_credit. Like I said, I post a video there every Friday. I'll probably get more. I've been consistent for about 5-6 months, posting a video every Friday. So for all I know, that's not going to stop anytime soon. I do post every day on Instagram of results and tips and things like that. So you can follow me on Instagram at AH_credit solutions. You can find me there on Instagram, and then in the link in my bio is where you can find my DIY ebook, and as well as book a free consultation. Like I said, a free consultation, I'll go over kind of what are your goals, what do you want to achieve, how we can best suit you and help you. And that's kind of like where you can find all my general information. And like I said, if you have a question in general, you can always hit me in the DMs on either of those credit accounts. I am on Facebook as well. But yeah, you can hit me on Instagram or TikTok if you got any questions about credit, or if you need assistance in building credit, fixing your credit, or just tips and tricks on how to get funded and things like that.
That's great. That's great. So I hope those who are listening, I hope you guys took a couple of gems from this podcast. Thank you, Mr. Austin, for being here, explaining to us what's credit and how we can leverage our credit. And stay tuned to next week's episode, guys. See you guys pretty soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.